Good evening.
Right. This is our last review of While We Are in Edinburgh, because I think Ian's mentioned earlier.
Yeah, we've got some more to do online.
We'll do some online. Anyway, it's Ian and Jane, as you know. And our last production that we went to see this evening was Dots and Dashes, a Bletchley Park musical. And it was out at the Army at the Fringe, the drill hall. So we got the bus.
We've said before in other videos that if you come into the Fringe, it's quite a good idea to download the East Lothian bus app. It's not brilliant, but it's good enough. So you tell you its location. So we told you where we were staying, where we were, and it tells you all the buses and when they're coming. So it tracks you. It worked really well, didn't it?
It did work very well.
Yeah, we've used it a few times now.
It's been good. Right, so it's the Chop Logic Productions Historical. So I'm actually going to read. There's a tiny bit in the programme, but I'm going to read because we had some nice programmes. So, Dots and Dashes, a Bletchley Park musical, is our debut production centred around the lives of 6 women working at Bletchley Park during World War II. Bletchley Park was an operation headed by the British government used to spy on the German army and use the information they gathered to assist our soldiers. The mission was top secret, and the truth about Bletchley was only revealed 30 years after the war had ended. It's a story of love, loss, secrets, and the sacrifices these women made to save millions of lives, to rise above their roles and silently fight a war behind closed doors. And it was a celebration of those women and their story.
Please welcome to the stage, the Bombshell Bay!
Now the men are gone, it's our time to shine. Let's show them who's really on the front line. Time for this country to start anew.
Work to translate each line, be quick, can't waste no time trying to figure out what messages are about.
She's translating what's calling in. Nothing is what it seems. I can't stand that It's a chance for women to make history. We put the V in victory.
Tonight was the
debut.
The debut.
Yes,
They've done it once. I think they said in London.
It was a sort of dress rehearsal.
That type of thing. But anyway,
They didn't use that word, but
but
they did it.
tonight was the opening night.
Yes.
And it was interesting because the army at the Fringe, the drill hall, all of the army staff were really, really welcoming.
Oh, it was
and
fantastic.
They set up a bar. The only annoying thing was, it was all of this bit was outside, so it was a bit chilly this evening.
It was unfortunate.
Yeah, had it been 2 or 3 days ago when it was lovely and warm, but it was a bit of a wind tunnel.
Ian was cold.
I was cold, and
It was fine. Fine.
Jane said that she should have took her gloves. It was that cold.
No,
we're joking. So that was the only thing.
It was lovely.
Yeah,
it was really, really
but actually,
nice.
once we got in there, it was fine. I really liked it. I have to say though, I thought the first song, which was I can't remember what the song was. It was a well-known song from the sort of Second World War. It almost seemed a bit too frivolous.
Do you know, it's funny you should say that, because I thought exactly the same.
Oh, that is interesting.
It was some of the lyrics.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't be specific, but I had exactly the same. I thought, oh no, because
the Second World War isn't frivolous.
it isn't frivolous.
No.
It isn't funny.
No.
What Bletchley Park achieved was amazing.
Yeah, it was.
And we're quite interested in Bletchley Park anyway, so we knew, you know, bits and pieces of the history of it. And I thought, oh dear, they're not going to treat this seriously, and they're not going to give it, you know.
They're doing it for laughs.
I'm not saying that they have to be, you know, straight-faced and blah, blah, blah. But that's exactly what I thought. And actually it turned out to be nothing
like that at all.
Nothing like that.
The production, once we got forgetting that, once we got past that, and that was just the intro really, it was very poignant. And I really liked, they had sort of choreographed bits with the songs where they were doing movements, and that was just brilliant. I thought, so you'd have one person, but they were doing it. I can't do it, but you have to come and see it. It's great. I thought the songs were really good. The voices were good.
Oh, the voices were.
Harmonies were great.
Were amazing.
You know, and it was really, really well done. We had there was mention of Alan Turing they said him batting for the other side. I don't want to give too much away because there's a love story involved in the production, and I don't think we should give that away.
There are sort of
there are a couple of elements,
of sort of things that happen to people. The cast is 6 women, and that's it.
And they had a screen behind them which showed bits of Pathé News. Some of those were absolutely hilarious to some extent, you know, because original footage. And they had one with Churchill, and you know, there was this sort of almost comedic one of his family in an Anderson shelter, which was just, you know. So all of those bits were really, really good. We did have a word at the end, because right at the end they had the screens that the cast were in front for the last song, and the screen was behind, and you couldn't see the text that was on the screen because it was important. It was about Bletchley and about
it was facts and figures about Bletchley
and other things that were associated with the musical. I don't want to say too much about those because that's, you know, and it was difficult to see them. And actually, they because it's the opening night, we actually did have a word, and we said, but they know about that. I think they're going to either try and move the screen up or move it to one side so that people can see the screen a bit better. That was the only thing, but it's one of those. It wasn't a big irritation. It was just one of those sort of little things that, you know, you tweak after the opening night. Yeah. Brilliant production.
But going back, I mean, we knew each woman had a particular role.
Yeah.
And it was, you know, it was like a machine. I mean, you know,
it was like a conveyor belt, really, wasn't it? Yeah. So one person would be listening to and then it would go to somebody else, and they went through all of that, and that was.
So you'd know exactly that somebody was taking the signals, somebody was interpreting, somebody was reading them, somebody was plotting something, and somebody was
converting the language,
and they had a sort of a machine. It wasn't actually a typewriter, though. I think one of the girls, I couldn't quite see the one.
They did mention what it was called, but and it worked like a typewriter.
But you could hear it was a tap, 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 tap. So they had a couple of scenes where there was no dialogue and they weren't singing, etc. But they just had the sound of the room working, and it was this tapping.
Brilliant.
And it really was effective because, you know, I've seen, well, a lot, you know, we've seen photographs of the real Bletchley Park, and
we need to go, actually,
and it is that sound of the tapping and you know, women with their heads down and they're concentrating, and they had that brilliantly, and everybody was in period dress, which worked really well, and it was well observed.
It was really good.
You know, they didn't muck about with that. There was serious attention to detail, and I appreciated that. And all the other things that Ian's already listed about the music, etc. I thought it was great.
Yeah, it's on every day apart from the 22nd at 8:30 in the evening at the Army at the Fringe Drill Hall. It's a bus ride from the centre. 20-minute, half an hour bus ride.
But interesting, sorry to interrupt, but interestingly, we did walk back because I think we would have had to wait 17 minutes for a
Yeah,
bus.
we couldn't.
And actually, we walked back in about
Half an hour.
or
Yeah.
just less. So it's doable.
Yeah, it is.
But
Yeah.
anyway, it.
Yeah, it didn't seem as far as what
But
we
I'm
saw.
pleased that we
Yeah.
got the bus out.
Yeah. So anyway, it's on right the way through. It's literally, obviously, tonight was the first night, so it's not been on before. Well, we've already said that, haven't we? It's on to the 28th, right at the end. No show on the 22nd. The price is... Oops. I'm going to find it. Oh, come on, Fringe website. Here we are. £12 full price, £10 concession. Go see it. It's brilliant. How many
Very,
stars?
very good. Very strong 4 for
4
me.
from me too.
Yeah.
It's a really good piece of work.
Very pleased that we went out to see it.
Yeah, well worth the visit.
Yeah, and a great venue.
And actually, it was great.
because
Yeah, the staff, all the army staff there were
Yeah.
really, really
Friendly.
welcoming and
yeah,
they came and had a chat with people
Yeah.
with us, and
yeah.
you know, they wanted to know how we'd heard about it.
I
and all
think
that
because
sort
it
of
was one of the regulars. I don't know what title he has, but he was saying that a lot of the younger people there, they're obviously all in
Yeah.
military. They were. Did you say university cadets?
Oh, did they?
I think he
I
used that.
I wasn't
may
there
have,
for that.
I may have got that wrong, but I think
Yeah.
that was the term he used.
All right, brilliant.
But there were a lot of people around, and
It was pretty full. Yeah.
yeah, no, it was a good,
Yeah, it's
good
for the
opening.
first night, yeah.
Good opening night, wasn't
Definitely.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Great. Well,
thanks very much. We'll see you back in Yorkshire.
yeah, we're about to pack.
Yeah.
And yeah, but like Ian said, we will be doing
We are
some-
continuing. It'll probably be a couple of days, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Probably, maybe we'll see how we get on Thursday or Friday. But before the weekend, there's at least one. Well, we've got 3. At least we know there's 3 shows to see. One of them may be a live stream, which I don't know quite know when that is. But I've been sent the details.
Oh,
I just
good,
need to
right.
work out.
Okay.
So yes, so we'll at least one of those will be before the weekend.
Okay.
Okay.
Well.
So thanks very much for watching, and
Yeah.
thanks very much for following us, and thanks very much for meeting us, everybody that we've met.
No, we enjoyed
You
that,
know.
and everybody that's still here, enjoy the rest of your fringe.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Cheers.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.